up.
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
It's 8 minutes after 9 o'clock, so I guess Mike Tyson's talking about getting back in the ring again. Evander Holyfield would possibly be who he's talking about.
This is what I said was going to happen. It's going to be the revenge tour for Mike Tyson. Although I think he should, well, I don't know. What do you do? I guess you go for the big money first and then continue on. Because I was thinking, well, maybe you could, fight some of the people that you fought before and then have it culminate in Evander Holyfield, because that would be the grand finale. But then the problem is these guys are old, and something could happen along the way. So you got to fight the best ones first.
See, that's what I think. I think the thrill is over. I mean, we wanted to see Mike Tyson come back. He lost 100 pounds to get ready for this fight, to fight Roy Jones Jr. And it looked like Snoop said, it looked like a couple of his uncles out at a family barbecue getting after it. It's kind of sad in a roundabout way. Like, yeah, I mean, Roy Jones Jr. really wasn't in shape for this fight. Mike was. But at some point, you're just like, these are old guys. I don't want to see old guys beat the hell out of each other. I don't know. You just feel more, aren't you more sensitive to older people? Don't you kind of feel for older people a little bit more? I mean, I would rather see younger guys go at it. I just don't think this is going to have the buzz that it had going into this fight for the next one. Because
I don't know about you, man, but I want to see Mike Tyson go against Holyfield again.
Yeah, I do.
I want to see him get that other ear.
That's the one. I mean, of any of the rematches.
Have you seen Holyfield? He can barely talk. He can barely put a sentence together. He's been hit in the head so many times. I mean, at what point do we just say, "Come on, this is terrible"? We're human beings. I mean, how do we get excited about these two old guys beating the crap out of each other?
I'm with you on that one.
I think the excitement and the what if and the mystery and all that was kind of answered in this last fight. I don't know. I'm sure it'll be a fight. I'm sure people will turn out for it. I just don't think it'll get the ratings that these people think it's going to get. I think people like, once you see a couple of old guys beat the hell out of each other, it's just, I think
it will get the ratings because it's Tyson Holyfield. Still a matchup that will always draw. Same could be said about Chuck Liddell and Tito Ortiz, right?
That's a little different.
What is a little different about it? Well, those guys were fighting ultimate fighting.
Different level.
They were fighting a much more old guys fighting a much more dangerous fight.
And look how that worked out for Chuck. I mean,
I know it didn't work out good.
I want Mike Tyson v. Holyfield fight, no rules.
Okay, can you pronounce his name right? It's not Holyfield. It's Holyfield.
Holyfield needs to be able to do.
You just sound like a dumb kid. Would you stop? I'm trying to help you out here. Holly has two L's in it, by the way. Holly has two L's. Holy has one. That's the difference.
The leg.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now you're talking Karate Kid.
I think they should be able to do whatever they want. I want full steroid use for this.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, whatever PEDs they want to use. Get a hold of Will Fuller's PEDs if you want.
Well, I watched the last fight. I know you guys didn't. You guys tell me how this next one goes, because it's sad. I think Mike Tyson would whoop.
See, I can't believe that Mike Tyson's going to go back in the ring, and you only get to watch one, and the one you choose is Roy Jones Jr., not Evander Holyfield. Come on, you made the investment to watch Roy Jones Jr., and why wouldn't you make the investment? You've already gone down to that deep, dark hole that you're talking about. Why wouldn't you be like,
Roy Jones Jr. was just, he just stopped boxing a handful of years, just a few years ago, and he was still in shape. I don't know if Evander Holyfield is. I'm just saying. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Holyfield comes out, he looks great, and he's talking better. I don't feel so bad.
So you've recently seen Evander Holyfield in an interview?
I have. Well, it was a year or two ago, and it was uncomfortable to watch. And the thing was, I kept looking for his ear to see if there was a piece missing.
Fighting, man, you don't.
And
I sign up to watch.
I never saw
talk.
that side of him.
Come on, you want to watch somebody talk? Watch a presidential debate.
CTE, man. Tell me they don't get it.
Probably.
They're getting punched in the head. Okay. I'm just saying, I think, I could be wrong. You guys both want to see this? Maybe that's where the majority goes.
How about this?
But how many old guys have to get their ass kicked before we start feeling
what's the price point? Obviously for Jeremy, it's $0. Cameron, what's the price point to see Tyson Holyfield?
$20.
Yeah, that's where I put it. 1995.
Yeah, you're never going to
But
get that.
isn't
Why not?
pay-per-view
The other fight was
normally,
$50.
like $90?
The other fight was 50.
50. I don't know if I'm.
But you had all these undercard fights. There's some YouTube star.
Yeah, I don't know about the undercards. I'm not a big enough fight fan to watch the undercard. You know, I'd rather have drinks and socialize, and then everybody come over, and then we watch the main event.
There's some YouTube star that fought the former Seattle Supersonic.
Sean Kemp,
No, Nate.
Nate McMillan,
Nate Robinson. Was that right? Oh my God.
I think so.
Well, I got to find it. I'm just going off the top of my head, and I'm sorry I don't have it right in front of me. And now everybody's saying the wrong names.
Nate Robinson was it Sonic?
Yep.
No.
Here it is. Nate Robinson fights Jake Paul.
Yeah, Jake Paul, the YouTube star.
And then his brother Logan Paul is going after Floyd Mayweather now.
Oh, really? It's not the same kid?
No, there's two of them. There's Jake Paul and there's Logan Paul.
And I don't know
One
who
is
these
terrible,
Pauls are, but
and
they're
the other
apparently
is slightly less terrible.
Okay. They're apparently YouTube stars. So that's how they got their fame.
And they got
To somebody.
Wait,
not
is
me.
there YouTube stardom from boxing? Because I don't think anybody should jump in with Floyd Mayweather unless they're a boxer.
Nope. They started as YouTubers, and now they're moving into a boxing career, I guess. And one of them has been talking crap with Floyd Mayweather. And I don't like Mayweather, but
Junior, talking about Junior,
wanna
right?
See Paul get his ass beat by Mayweather. I think that'd be fun.
Okay,
But this is Mayweather Jr., right?
Nope, no, I'm pretty sure this is
Okay.
the Floyd.
Yeah, the Floyd.
Yeah, why would you pick a fight with Floyd Mayweather Jr.? I mean,
I thought that's what I saw.
Yeah.
that is that just to increase watches? Because if you're not,
it's Floyd Mayweather Jr.
I know nothing about the YouTube realm when it comes to increasing your fame. But when you're increasing your fame, you have to do outlandish things like take on Floyd Mayweather
Jr.
Yeah, sir.
It's Floyd Mayweather
Is it
Jr.
Floyd Mayweather a junior though, in his own right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because his dad is his is his trainer.
So when you're talking about junior, it's not like he's taking on a 19-year-old kid. He's taking on the Floyd.
I'm just
Mayweather.
saying his name is Floyd Mayweather Jr. It says right here
Right,
is
but
taking on Logan Paul.
You're insinuating that it's not the Floyd Mayweather, and
I'm not
Junior
insinuating
is-
anything because I'm not a big fan of. I don't follow a lot of boxing.
Point is, they're gonna go into the ring. Logan Paul is probably gonna get his butt beat, and this is all just like it's a big fight. It's going to be a big publicity stunt.
But there's got to be
for
people
everyone.
out there that are boxing fans, that are fans of the sport of itself, and they can't like any of this. They can't like Tyson and Holyfield. They can't like Tyson and Jones. They can't like Floyd Mayweather taking on YouTubers. I mean, all it does is bastardize your sport, which is already on the ropes, pardon the pun, because of the competition from the UFC. Well, people like UFC better than they like boxing right now.
I mean, I feel like UFC fighters are more. I don't want to say more talented because that makes it sound like.
Well, it's a different style,
What's up?
I think they are more talented.
but it's a different style of fighting too. I mean, it's not just boxing. It's boxing. It's taekwondo. It's
We were asking
Yeah,
people.
there's more that goes into it.
it's more entertaining to watch because of that. I think and they get after each other.
We were asking the question on our Facebook page. What do you think about breakdancing as an Olympic sport? And Kyle wrote in, and this is something I'd like to see any of these guys that we're talking about do. Breakdance fighting to the death, where you go in there and you have to do breakdance moves, but then they also have to incorporate fight moves, and then whoever wins that one ends up, being the victor. But it's to the death, so at least you know who wins. There's no problem with judges or anything like that.
Well, that's kind of like Karate Kid type stuff, though, right? So it kind of looks like that, where they do all those juke moves, and then they punch somebody or kick somebody.
Sure.
You know what I'm talking
I
about?
don't know. Hey, just make it happen. I don't care how it happens.
What if we had capoeira?
Don't know what that is.
Like, that's the Brazilian dance fighting.
Okay.
It's like Brazilians dance and they fight, and it's beautiful.
Does somebody-
But also, it's completely ineffective as a fighting technique.
Share a picture of that on our Facebook, would you?
Or a video would be even
a
better.
video. I mean, that would be better. Much better. Yeah, I would like to see that. What's it called again?
Capoeira.
You're going to have to spell that for us, too.
Things we didn't get to in hashtag form with Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
Breakdancing. People, for the most part, aren't very happy about that based on our Facebook poll. Bob's got his head in his hands. It's not having it. Dino says, this is a joke, right? Skip says foul. Erin is on board. She says, yeah, let's do this. I mean, I don't know. I it's not so much breakdancing to me. It is just the whole premise of having a judged sport. And I know so many sports in the Olympics are judged, and that's why I don't like it. I'll watch the ones that, like if there's a finish line and somebody makes it to the finish line, or even a timed finish, where they make it to the finish line in a shorter amount of time than the next person is going to make it. Then I know the outcome.
A definite winner.
I know the
Not
outcome.
a judged. You don't like the judge stuff.
You had talked about, and you didn't bring it up when we were having the conversation with Sean, who was the winner of the Christmas in the Country drive-thru at the Elks Rodeo Grounds in Santa Maria. But you started going there at cheerleading. We've talked about cheerleading in the past, and people are very animate about the fact that cheerleading is a sport.
Yeah, they have competitions.
But
There's
like,
winners and losers.
That's like tumbling and gymnastics and drill team.
Yeah.
All put into one, and they call it cheerleading, but we're in cheerleading.
But there's
really.
no finish line. It's not like who cheerleads first.
But it's
just
not even cheerleading. Like cheerleading is like, yeah, rah, go team. And not really. I mean, you do some jumps and some claps and some
it's changed.
arm
It's
things.
evolved.
But then call that tumbling / gymnastics / drill team.
It's funny because I remember looking at my dad's high school yearbook, and they had cheerleaders, and then they had song leaders, and the song leaders would come out in a little bit longer skirts, and they would lead the stands, the grandstand, in like the pep song or some other song. Now they have the dance team, which is far more entertaining than watching cheerleaders. But now some cheerleaders
And
do the
more
whole thing.
like-
It's very
more-
complicated. The
More
whole
like
thing.
competitive cheerleading than actual cheerleading.
Yeah. And I'm not going to knock it for, you know what, it's fine. It's a sport. There's a winner and a loser, and they have competitions. It's a little bit more elaborate than just running a race or scoring the most points. I mean, if you think about it, they're scoring points just like you score points in any other game. It's just determined by somebody who is apparently a professional. They can judge them.
If anything, it requires more talent because you have to come up with your own routines. There's a lot of creativity that goes into it.
I mean, running a race is the most boring track. Come on.
But you see
I mean,
concrete
yeah, there's not
result.
much mental thought into it. It's go straight.
Ooh,
have-
that guy's fast. Ooh.
Right, exactly.
He
But
can
you
jump over
have-
hurdles.
You have a concrete result, though. You know the score. The guy would cross the finish line first. He wins.
No, that is great.
Well, let's
but
take boxing.
I also
There's not-
would
the
like-
Let's take boxing though. If you don't have a TKO, if you don't have a knockout, then what do you have? You have judges that are scoring the
I know,
bout.
and I don't like that
And
dynamic.
and this
I don't
going
like that
back to the Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr. It was obvious to me, and I think everyone else, that Tyson won that fight.
Right.
Yet they called it a tie.
Well, it was for
A draw.
exhibition anyways.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying. even boxing, which you would agree is an Olympic sport and should be one, right? Is judged, and there's not always a definite winner or loser.
Absolutely, but you can tell based by the eye test. And I'm saying the layman can tell based by the eye test.
So the fact that you don't follow cheerleading
gymnastics
is your problem.
Or ice skating, or like I don't know what the technical points are. They need to do a better job of coaching us, the viewer, on what was so wrong about that technique that they just did. Like I feel like I'm getting preached to by elitists when I watch these events in the Olympics because there's always one announcer that goes like what they're doing something on the either ice skating or gymnastics and they do it and then they go, ooh, that's going to cost her. And as a viewer, you're like, what's going to cost her? Like I didn't see anything wrong with that. What they just did. You're like, okay.
So speak more in layman's terms if you're a judge in the Olympics.
Yeah, don't be like, ooh.
And then maybe you'll be more of a fan. Maybe you'll learn something.
Appeal to the smooth brains.
Yeah. The smooth brains. I love that.
You're putting it on TV for them. So, yes, make it so they can consume it.
Hashtag all the rage. Gingerbread houses are out and charcuterie houses are in. I love it.
Cheese house.
Cheese and meats, cold cuts, pickles, crackers, nuts. Sometimes
That's
pickled
awesome.
veggies. I love that stuff. Never knew what charcuterie was. Probably couldn't even pronounce it or spell it before I moved here 15 years ago. It is now one of my favorite things because they're at all the wineries. You go out, you get all these different cold cuts of
Definitely
meat,
my quick dinner of
cheese,
choice.
pickles.
Would you use salami for like shingling?
Could. Yes. Like, you know which ones would be really
I
good?
need to see this. I need to look this up.
You know which one would be really good because you could cut them in half. They make a bite-sized salami. They're like little dime in shape circles, but they're a little bit thicker, so it might be a little tough for a shingle. More of a Spanish adobe tile, I would think. And
oh my god,
they
use salami for shingling. They have little like bread things for the little like prosciutto doors and walls.
Yeah, prosciutto's very flimsy though, but I guess if it
crackers.
was,
You put it on a cracker, and you use the prosciutto to design the cracker.
Oh, so the cracker's
like
the
a
wall, and
cheese
then the
spread,
prosciutto would be kind of like wallpaper.
Yeah, the crackers need to be the wall.
Or siding.
But the thing is, I don't know if they make crackers that are big, like super big, to make like a really good house.
They make all different kinds of crackers.
I know.
I've seen big wafer crackers like this long.
Really?
Oh yeah. Like, and I'm holding up like 6 inches.
I'm 100% down for this. I can't wait to see more.
How about actually do one?
Hashtag Terminator. Air Force has just hired its first robotic soldier, I guess.
Reading lessons from Jeremy this morning. What's going on?
Speak for yourself.
The Tynan
Everyone
base,
else.
The Air Force Base in Florida has hired a robotic dog to essentially like scout out, instead of having a dude sit there at the front door.
See, I was really excited when you said robat because I thought it was a robotic bat. Dogs are boring.
No, we already have those. They drop nuclear bombs.
What are the dogs doing for the Air Force?
They don't have guns yet. They just kind of search and scout, and if they see someone bad, then they just set off an alarm. That's all they do for now.
Why don't they have robot drug sniffing or bomb sniffing dogs? You would think they would be able to figure that out.
Well, probably because robots don't have sense of smell.
We're coming back from
They do have X-ray though.
From France.
That's a pretty good skill to have.
And we were sitting there waiting for our bags, and the bomb sniffing dog's going around, drug bomb. I don't know what it was. It was a little cute dog, and stops at my buddy's bag, who's a big pot smoker. And I'm like, oh, here we go. Ha ha! He's going to jail. And then the dog got up and walked away. But definitely just walked by everybody's bag until he got to this guy's and stopped and sat down. And I thought, uh-oh, that's usually the call, right? They sit down. It wasn't the case.
I thought the call was they start barking and get like angry and stuff.
I don't know. If you watch Cops, they sit down. I'm sure
they get in and go.
Everybody's trained a little bit different. So, coming up, it's Judas Priest, also Steppenwolf, and you'll have a shot to win $20 to go to Federico's Fresh Max, bringing the Aloha Spirit to San Luis Obispo at 851 High Guerra. Know the show, and it's yours next.
93.3 KZOZ rocks.
Jeff and Jeremy here. It's Know the Show time. Know the Show today, and you're going to score yourself $40 to go to Federico's Fresh Mex, downtown San Luis Obispo. Cameron.
What is the dream Mike Tyson revenge fight?
All right. And Brent's first up this morning. Hey, Brent.
Hey, what's happening?
Good. What's Know the Show?
I believe it's Tyson Holyfield.
Yes, Hollywood.
We should have asked. We should have asked, according to our intern, who is the dream fight with?
Who, Cameron?
Yeah.
Cameron wants Holyfield, or Hollyfield.
Holyfield.
Holyfield, right.
I hear Cameron
H-O-L-L-Y, right?
Yeah.
I hear Cameron trying to talk back there.
Oh, yeah.
Supposedly.
The music's turning him out because the engineers need to come in here and they haven't done it yet. And it's screwed everything up. So,
They're in here every day, but apparently they haven't gotten the right thing yet.
well, it was set up right, and then I came back to work 2 days ago, and it was all screwed up again. So now him and the music and everything comes in on this. It's like we have all these channels, but everything comes in on one pot. So hopefully they'll be able to fix that today. And
You know,
then
it's
they'll
like-
be able to do both.
Listening to you describe this is probably like the regular person's probably like, man, this is just like watching gymnastics. Having them describe that to me.
I can't hear you, Jeff. Everything's coming in on one pot. What'd you say?
I think he did a double flick black with a twist. And
Say this is the problem. This is the problem that I've been having this whole time.
Well, then let's share
Everything
it with
comes in on
everyone.
on one. That's what we're doing.
That's good radio.
Good.
Face boosted beats.
Yeah, see, that camera's coming in better
cost
now.
him. It's going to cost him. Right there.
Ooh, I don't know.
Let's see here.
He's a little off center.
Doesn't that drive you nuts when they do that?
Kinda.
When you're watching something and they're like, ooh, but they don't really let you in on why you're going, ooh.
Well, when they fall down on their butt, but they got to keep that smile on. That's always
Well, at least that's obvious.
Yeah.
But it's like the little, she tweaked her ankle a little bit on that one. I was
little
like,
off center.
I'm watching the same thing. I didn't see anything.
She wasn't at 90 degrees.
Exactly. Too technical to be a sport.
Well, in the
You don't have
diving
to
should
watch
be,
it.
just
That's
be
the
not
thing.
make a splash.
You don't have to watch it.
But the bars.
If you
I
don't
to
like
watch.
it, go watch something else.
But the thing they do with the gymnastics,
sound
like
down.
that.
Sound down.
People do like that.
They have to hook you into it, though.
But-
because the way they do gymnastics coverage is they'll do a little bit of pole vault, or not pole vault. What's the thing that they do? I don't
High
know.
bar? What? I don't know.
No, the thing that they
Jungle gym.
The vault.
the vault.
The horse, whatever.
The horse, the pommel
Yeah.
horse.
Yeah.
The pommel horse. They'll do a little bit of pommel horse. Then they'll do a little floor do routine. Then they'll do a little bars. And then I only want to watch the bars. That's all I want to watch. But I got to watch all the...
You need,
Well,
you need Olympics on demand.
That's the
Extreme.
all-around competition. Well, and the thing is, the Olympics are 2 weeks. By the end of that 2 weeks, you're a judge. You're like, oh, well, that's not going to... Oh, yeah, she's not going to get points for that.
And
No,
then-
no, that ain't working.
And then when you go to watch it 4 years later, you've forgotten everything that
Oh,
you
well, yeah.
learned.
But with that, after that 2 weeks, you're an expert again. So
I need my...
That's why I love curling. It's only
Yes,
comes up in the winter, but
you know the points.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know how the points
But
are.
there's
how'd you like
technique to that sweeping.
How'd you like to call it? I mean, the thing's just sliding across, and they're just...
It's all about the sweeping technique.
The little
yeah.
brums, yeah.
Oh,
the
it's
brooms,
like,
yeah.
oh, Canada's really got the sweep down now. Look at that technique. Oh, yeah.
It almost looks like a shake weight. The way they get that thing in there.
All right, Seth. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you back here
Be as exciting as
tomorrow.
curling.
Yeah.